Hey guys, so today I am coming to you from the hospital. I'm not super happy about being here, but I have to find some things to do with my time, so I thought it would be a good idea to clarify on the symptoms that I had before I found out that I had leukemia. So obviously we know that my entire story is a little bit different to most people's, where I woke up with leukemia from a coma, but like looking back, there were symptoms that I had misdiagnosed by doctors and stuff like that, which I feel like talking about it could help someone in a similar situation, so we might as well give it a go. Today I'm also embracing the bald head look because I've just shaved my head again. Well, that's kind of good because the chemo is keeping my hair kind of like thin, so I'm just not going to bother growing it back yet. I'm just gonna keep shaving it because like I do have some hair growth, but not a lot. So now I know quite a lot about leukemia and the symptoms and stuff like that and things that you need to look out for, but obviously I didn't before. I had no idea about the symptoms. We think my condition first started around October when I had a tonsillitis infection. So I never really like fully recovered from this tonsillitis infection. Like it kept coming back, so I was like constantly ill with infections from like October to March. So like 6 months of just constantly being ill, like recurring illness, throat problems, feeling a bit chesty. But there were symptoms that I was having that I associated with the tonsillitis. For example, like breathlessness, going up and down stairs. I was just thinking that I was getting a bit like tired from like constantly being ill and stuff, and that my immune system was just a bit shit. Like the whole time that like I was having these infections, I was getting diagnosed over like Zoom calls by doctors with like bacterial infection, antibiotics, and it would go away for a bit and then it would come back. So it was just a constant sort of cycle of get ill, get antibiotics, get better, get ill again. The other thing that I had before knowing that I was sick was tiredness. But I really put that down to losing my sister in January. So I started to have quite a lot of tiredness after Christmas, but my sister was diagnosed with cancer and then died in like a really short space of time. So I thought I was just mentally really drained and exhausted. That's the thing with leukemia symptoms, like it's so easy to just kind of explain them away. Like they're just so vague and common, and you never think that it's going to be something seriously wrong when you're like 25. We get to like February, March kind of time, that's when my infection got really bad. So I was sort of like, at this point I wasn't really eating so much, like my appetite had dropped off. So I had some more like leukemia based symptoms. I was losing weight, but I was associating that to having such bad tonsillitis that I just wasn't really getting food in and I wasn't really feeling hungry. And you know, again, I was prescribed antibiotics by the doctor and I thought it was just, you know, it was just going to get better again and then maybe come back. At this point they were sort of talking about maybe taking my tonsils out, if it came back again. So this was like the last set of antibiotics kind of thing. But then things took a really dramatic turn. I woke up in the morning and I wasn't really conscious. I was just going in and out of consciousness on the sofa. And my friend texted my dad and pretty much said, Caitlin's acting like she's got brain damage. I might be able to even put in a video. It's really disturbing, the video that he sent to my dad. So he called an ambulance for me because I wasn't really conscious at that point. I was sort of in and out of it, slurring my words. The reason that I was acting like I had brain damage, although that's a really horrible thing to say, is because my brain was starved of oxygen because there was no hemoglobin in my blood. Hemoglobin's the bit that like carries the blood around. So an ambulance was called, it came, and when it arrived they didn't want to take me. They didn't apparently see anything majorly wrong, which meant that I needed to go then. They thought I was just acting weird. But my friend pretty much picked me up and put me in the ambulance and said, there's something not right, take her to A&E now. So they did take me in the end, and about 15 minutes after that is when I died. So it's kind of a good job I ended up in that ambulance. I don't have any lasting brain damage, which is really lucky, and now I know what happened to me exactly and everything, and now I can kind of piece together some of the symptoms that I had before. So looking back, my main sort of symptoms were originally tiredness and frequent infections, night sweats. I had quite bad night sweats, but again, like, I just attributed it to sort of being uncomfortable with the things that had happened with my sister and just huge amounts of stress, really. And then the loss of appetite as my disease progressed. But again, really just put it down to the infections, and I genuinely thought it was just tonsillitis that was getting bad and I'd need my tonsils out. So overall, I'm just really fucking lucky to be here. If the chain of events that happened didn't quite happen like that, if my friend woke up late, if he didn't get me into the ambulance, if the ambulance didn't end up just accepting it and taking me, I'd be dead. Quite frankly, I was dead. And then obviously kind of know the rest of the story of they gave me emergency chemo, it saved my life, died again a few times. Yeah, but I thought it would be good to share some of the symptoms that I had, because it's not easy to get diagnosed with cancer in this current COVID situation. Even now, had I been able to be in front of a doctor might have been able to actually pick up, rather than just on a Zoom call, that something wasn't quite right about the infections and stuff. They were just treating it as sort of, oh, she's got tonsillitis again, let's check her tonsils, look at the tonsils on the video call and accept that that's what it was and prescribe antibiotics. But no, it was leukemia. I think that things have to change, or people are just gonna, well, I know people have died. People are dying because we're not able to get diagnosed, and it's really bad. I wish there was something more I could do. If any of you have any ideas of like blood cancer charities or people that I can like work with and talk with, I'd love that. And if you have any ideas for what you want to see, let me know. I'm definitely gonna be making a Q&A on things that you're too scared to ask cancer patients, because I'm not scared of answering anything. I hope you enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you want to join me on my cancer journey, because it's not over yet. And follow me on Instagram, send me a message. I'm very bored in hospital and I still have a lot of things to go through, so I appreciate everyone's support. Until next time, bye guys.